testing the audio, which is why I'm talking into the microphone to see what happens when the video starts and see if we have audio. Yes, we have audio. Looks like OBS may have fixed that bug, so that's good. All right, Dementia Radio now, and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast, brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice.
Hey, Luke Ski.
So what's going on this week?
We have Dave Guhlow on the show with us at the moment. Welcome, Dave.
The one, the only. Hi there. Thanks for having me.
And, oh, wow, I forgot it does that. Dave doesn't have a camera, so instead of...
I'm cheap and I have an old computer.
There you go.
But I'm also cheap.
Because when the first time you spoke, when it cut to you, it just froze my picture. It didn't cut to the blank screen. It just froze me. So people watching on Twitch, you know, that you may see that happened instead of going to the blank screen. Anyway, Jeff Whitmire will be joining us a little bit later in the show. He's out at a screening of some horror movie or something, and just will be running a little bit late. So, welcome to episode 696 of the Funny Music Podcast for October 19th, 2023. Title of this week's episode is A Roomy Nest. And I put that in the chat, and your job, should you choose to accept it, is to work that into our conversations somehow. So, let's do the catch-up thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey,
What?
no, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Working my dumb day job. Basically, that's pretty much been my life. Although I am trying to get some other stuff done. For example, let me look over at my to-do list to see what I crossed off. Hold on just a second.
While Luke is looking over his shoulder,
Okay.
let's see what's going on downtown.
So, yeah, there was a thing that went down at the beginning of the Dumb Parody Ideas contest at FuMPFest, and I posted the video for that up on my YouTube page and on my other social media. So anyone who has not seen that yet can go to look for my channel under Luke Ski, Lukeski.
I forgot. I need to explain that video to Jen because she was like, she couldn't hear what you guys were saying on the video, and she asked me about it, and I was like, I'm not sure what video you're talking about, and then I realized it was that one, and I never went back and explained it to her, so I need to do that tonight when we're done here.
I mean, the video, it's like, because Jeff was filming it with his camera, or with my phone camera, like, pretty close up, so it's pretty easy to hear on that video if you just want to show that video to her, hopefully, because we explained the situation, so, you know. So that was a thing. I finally got my, I grabbed the piece of the promo photo that I was sent by Andy Merrill's manager of him and made a promo image to put it out there in the world and let everyone know, hey, Andy Merrill is the music guest of honor, comedy music guest of honor for MarsCon 2024. So I got that done. And I've also been trying to edit together the newest episode of Luke and Carrie's Bad Rapport, which is basically we recorded some segments in June when she was visiting with Alexanne, and so Alexanne and Santana are both on that part of the episode. And then the next like 5 segments after that are just her and I talking in July over Zoom, where we talk about stuff she was doing. I talk about what I did on the 4th of July, and we review what's it called? The show Peacemaker season 1, and then the anime Komi Can't Communicate, and then that was 3 months ago. So things kept getting in the way, like all these commissions, all these other things kept taking precedent over me being able to make the spare time to edit together this episode that was like basically finished, and and record the What's Luke Plugging Now segment and whatever and get it done. So now that it's already October, Carrie pointed out that this coming October 25th is the 20th anniversary of the day that Carrie and I met in person, which is also the 20th anniversary of that weekend we performed at the 2BCon convention, where you and me and Shoebox and Tony were all together. Like, that same
yes,
weekend.
I remember that weekend. That was a fun weekend.
Yeah, so that was and we found out that me and Tony found out that there was a Rocky Horror Picture Show happening just down the road from there in Indiana, and I went out to that show, and that's where Carrie was. And Carrie had heard of me because she had heard the Carpe Dementia album before she met me, so she was already sort of a fan. So anyway, so we decided to record a couple segments where we talk about, not in any comprehensive, organized way, because that would have made sense. We just kind of try to recap stuff, that was significant over the past 10 years, because the 10-year anniversary that happened back in 2013, we actually did a full, huge episode that celebrated the 10 years and talked about our whole history up to that point. So it's like, all right, we'll at least try to hit some other highlights. And then the other aspect of this episode is, since it's coming out in October, I've been saving up Halloween tracks for, like 4 years since the last time I did a Bad Rapport that posted near Halloween. So it's chock full of amazing Halloween music, including some Devo Spice tracks. So
sweet.
I just before we I signed on to do this, I recorded the What's Luke Plugging Now segment and just kind of rapid fired through it, because I made my list of things I'm going to mention in the next Luke Ski update, so that I can edit this all together and get it all prepped to post a Luke Ski update on October 25th, on the actual day of the anniversary. So that's what I've been working on mostly, the past couple of days, when I'm able to, muster the energy, after slinging, people's cannabis items, vehicular style, all week. It's, I'm so sick of it. I can't stand the fact that I'm doing this for a living instead of being, a storyboard artist or revisionist or whatever else I could possibly get. So that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to?
Well, actually, you might find this interesting. Just before the show, I was chatting with Chuck, and she apparently found an original run of the Sudden Death cassette album Noise Pollution from 1993.
Wow.
On eBay. So she sent me a picture of her holding up the thing. Like, look what I found on eBay. And I was like, oh my God, where did you get that? So she was apparently digging deep, looking for rare things like that, and found this somehow. I don't know who got it or how or whatever.
Remember how you found that person on eBay who was selling a copy of my DVD for $250?
Yes.
So, it's like I mentioned that to her, and we started talking about that somehow at FuMPFest, and I remember that back when I was like down to the last few copies of that at some conventions, I was just trying to kind of get rid of them, and I was selling them for like some ridiculously low price, like, I don't know, $2 or $3 each or something. And my mom at like MarsCon or something just bought like 3 or 4 of them. So I know when I go back to Wisconsin, if I wouldn't take too much looking for me to find one of her multiple copies of that DVD set.
Yeah. So
I told her that I'll find one and I'll grab it and I'll just send it to her. Because it's the least I can do after she made that awesome video. Is here's this thing supposedly valued at $250. Shrug. So yeah.
Can you put me in contact with them? I have a few spare CDs I'd like to get rid of too.
Excuse me. I'm not still sick. Well, I'm sick again.
Oh wow!
Congratulations.
I got over the con crud, and then my kids gave me high school crud. So I have a different cold.
Well, that's the best kind of crud, apparently.
Yeah, I guess.
It's similar to con crud, except the crud goes like, "You're so lame."
Right. Basically, yeah. So the big thing that I did this past weekend was the New Jersey Mystery and Crime Film Festival. Which took place over in Sparta, about 15 minutes from where I live. And I went out there, met a bunch of my friends from the acting class, and we watched a whole bunch of films, many of which starred the people in our acting class. My film, Room 259, was screened there on Saturday night. And there was some other premiere on Saturday night for the movie. It was really good. I forget what it was called, though. And then Sunday night, I was in 2 films. One is a short film called Child Bearers, which is a short about censorship in schools of books and stuff. And I play one of the old white guys at the end trying to decide what to do about this one particular book. And the other one is a feature film called Aware of the Wolf, where I just have a short, like, one scene cameo type thing in it. But that's the film where I got to be in the body bag, so that was cool. It's kind of cool. Like, there's this one, like, long panning shot, and you see them zipping up the body bag, and you can see I'm clearly in it. So that was fun.
Do they give you any particular direction for being in a body bag other than don't move?
Yeah, just be dead. And I'm sitting there trying to be as still as possible, and my teacher was like, "You can breathe. It's fine. That'll never show up on film." I was like, "Okay."
Because I watch for things like that when I'm watching true crime.
Yeah,
it's like, I wonder if that guy's breathing, or is this a freeze frame, or did they actually film that?
So
it's like, so you're wearing a full body cast?
No, I was in a body bag.
Oh, a body bag, but
yeah.
you know. And how tight are those things?
Not very. There was room.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably one size fits all when you think about it.
So it was cozy, kind of like a roomy nest?
Yes. Man, you telegraphed that one from a long way out.
I intentionally try to telegraph them now just so that you know to get your hands near the button.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well done.
So I got to say, like, Room 259, I love the genesis of that idea is, how can I film a horror movie while I'm stuck, being, well, not stuck, but, you're doing a thing for your kid. You're at the swim meet, but now you're in this place with this downtime and nothing to do. So what can you do to turn something practical into that downtime, or something creative into that downtime? And that's basically me at work all the time. It's like, what project can I possibly work on simultaneously while I'm driving around delivering weed products to people?
Yeah, that's kind of how my brain works. If I'm not doing like 7 things at once, I'm not happy,
Yeah.
But it's funny because when that weekend happened, I was like, oh, good, I can use my downtime to catch up on the FuMP and FuMPFest planning and all the other stuff I have to do. And my brain just went, no, you're filming a movie. And I went, okay, I guess I'm filming a movie. And that's where that came from. So, speaking of Room 259, I'm waiting to hear back from one more film festival to see if I get in or not. That one's in Virginia. I met some guys down there at RavenCon last year who run a film festival, so I told them I'd send it to them. If it does get in, then I'll go down and screen it there, and then after the new year sometime, I will make the video public so people can watch it on Vimeo. If it doesn't get in, I'll just make it public before then, because why not? But I think I'm done submitting this one to film festivals. I want to move on to my next one, because I got to get that one done. And Aware of the Wolf will apparently be available on Amazon starting like in January, I think, so people will be able to watch it. So, if you wish. So, Dave, what have you been up to?
Oh, nothing too much. I wish I had as an impressive a resume as you guys, but I'm just kind of sitting around listening to various things, making the occasional weird song and sending them along to you guys.
Well, that's what we like about you.
Hey. But I do mention I watch a lot of true crime, which is where the song Cadaver Dog came from, because you watch all these different shows and they say, now the Cadaver Dog confirmed the worst, and things like that.
Yeah.
And notice that the phrase Cadaver Dog fit very well into Banana Phone. That's the type of stuff I pay attention to for whatever reason.
It's just how your brain is wired. I get it.
Yeah, it's something. I know that. but not that I'm a typical fan of Rafi or whatever his name is. I'm not the usual fan group of his, but that I did know the song Banana Phone, and I admit I like that song, and just happened to notice that Cadaver Dog fit, so I just gave it a whirl.
All right, well, let's give it a listen, and then we'll talk to you about it. So here is Cadaver Dog by Dave Guhlow.
Sniff, 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 Cadaver Dog. Whiff, 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 Cadaver Dog. Look, there's a torso, and even more so. There's a head, there's an arm, there's a leg, there's a foot. It's a real cadaver farm. Sniff, 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 Cadaver Dog. Whiff, 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 Cadaver Dog. And he's got hunches, there may be bunches, my fabulous cadaverous dog. See detectives on TV solving every crime. They catch the killer at the end in the nick of time. And all those snitches, all those squeals, found in ditches and in fields. Anywhere around the world, nothing ever escapes that nosy wheel. Bark, 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 Cadaver Dog. Nark, 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 Cadaver Dog. It's been duly noted he's solving crime, and he'll get promoted in record time. My fabulous cadaverous dog, oh yeah, my fabulous cadaverous dog. Cadaver Dog, sniff, sniff, sniff.
He's got a real nose for the job.
Cadaver Dog, sniff, sniff, sniff.
He'll take a sniff on a crime.
Cadaver Dog, sniff, sniff, sniff. Good boy.
So I don't think I've ever heard the original song.
Banana Phone?
Yeah.
It's available somewhere. I'm not, as I said, I'm not in his typical fan group. But anyway, it's out there somewhere. It's Raffi or Raffi, R-A-F-F-I, I believe it's spelled. But not having kids, I'm not familiar with his repertoire. Maybe you guys are more familiar with that.
No, somehow we completely avoided Raffi for some reason when my kids were little. I don't know why or how, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I remember when my brother Michael was, a youngin' and a toddler. My mom had a bunch of Raffi cassettes and I think eventually some CDs. And in fact, around the time, shortly after that, that was when all of these businesses started popping up of, oh, we can take your home movies, your 8mm home movies, and we can transfer them onto VHS for you.
Yeah.
So, all these home movies my mom had didn't have any, audio with them because they were just, that type of movie. Mm-hmm. So they said, if there's music you want us to put behind us, send us a tape or a CD, we'll put it behind there. So my mom sent them a Raffi album. So now, so even to this day, when she's had those VHSs transferred to DVDs that we can watch, we're watching all those home movies and it's just Raffi music the whole time. So it's like, Baby Beluga. It's like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. And it's wonderful when sometimes whatever Raffi is singing weirdly coincides with something happening on the screen. That's wonderful. I'd like to make a mashup of all those moments.
Oh yeah.
I have way too many things to do. It's I know at some point.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Sometime recently, I swear I had an idea for a Raffi parody of Baby Beluga, and I can't remember what it was. I was in the dumb parody ideas vein of things, and I'm trying to remember what that was, but now I can't. But
I don't know that song. I can't really help you with that, but
yeah.
But it's haunting, doesn't it? It's stuck in your mind, and it's like, oh, get out of there, and you can't do anything about it.
But I love the idea of taking what is, a children's song, something designed for little kids, and making it into something that's not for children. Cadaver Dogs is kind of an adult topic.
Yes.
It's not
kids like
sexual
dogs.
or violence or anything, but like you're finding a corpse and that was probably murdered
Or bits of one,
or
yes.
pieces of a
Yes.
yeah. So I
Yeah, but
love
kids
that whole
like
idea.
dogs, so maybe they can.
Yeah, kids like
Daddy,
dogs.
can I pet the cadaver dog?
Oh, that's great.
I would have very odd children if I did have children.
I mean, I have very odd children, so yeah. I
Yes.
mean,
Kind of figured.
but had nothing to do with Raffi or the style of music because they don't like the music that I listen to, like at all.
What is it about kids and we liked good stuff. Don't kids understand that? Our music is very good. But darn those kids today. Well.
No, it's not.
What are
It's
you
not that
gonna
my
do?
kids have bad taste in music because they don't. It's just they don't like what I listen to.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure your kids have perfect taste in music, but everyone else's kids.
Like I was driving my oldest to school, earlier this evening, and he was listening to, like alternative punk, like modern punk rock stuff, and it was really good stuff. And
I can dig that.
I didn't recognize any of the bands, but I liked what I heard. So
There is still hope.
at least it's not mumble rap. Thank God none of my kids listen to mumble rap because that would
Yes.
that will not stand in this house,
No. No child of mine.
right?
In my day, rappers enunciated.
You will put effort into your songs.
They used vowels and consonants, consarn it.
You will wake up before recording your vocals. So,
You will make it known distinctively that you like big butts and that you do not lie.
you must be clear about the butts that you like. So this song is not on your new album because you have a new album out.
That's true. Piano droppings, as seen on TV, not really, but in the usual places on Amazon and Spotify and all of that. Piano droppings is, as the title suggests, a bunch of silly little piano things. Cadaver Dog is just one of those I wrote after the fact, and because it was a parody with copyrights and all that good stuff, I decided, well, let's send it to FuMP and see what those guys make of it. And
let's put it on the
there
FuMP and let
was.
them worry about the legal ramifications
Right.
of it.
That's actually not too far from the truth. But piano droppings, check for it in the dairy case at the store near you, and enjoy that if you'd like. And I have another album I'm working on now, the Brown album. Songs about poo and your butt and all that other stuff. Look for that early next year, probably.
Oh, I can't
But
wait for
all
that
sorts
one.
of things coming out. Oh yes, no one can. Oh, Jeff joined us.
Yeah.
I see Jeff's picture up there.
Yes, welcome, Jeff.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Jeff, my compliments to the brilliant Stabby Road Medley. I was listening to it on YouTube earlier.
Thank
and
you.
it
I
was just
appreciate that.
amazing.
Thank you.
That had to have been a crazy ton of work.
Yes. It was, yeah.
But
We had a good team behind it, so it was
Yeah,
it
I
definitely
can hear. I
moved
can
along,
see.
yeah.
I can see and hear it.
Yeah.
And I was even before the show started. I was talking about to Tom. Even the very end, the Her Majesty stuff.
Yeah.
You had the slow pan from one direction to the other, just like on Abbey Road. And it's like I love little details.
That's all Austin. And actually he does the Her Majesty section. He sings that. But
Well,
yeah, that was all his production. He just I knew he was really proud of the music and the instrumental on that.
as you all should be. I mean, it's brilliant.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So yeah, good stuff all around. So what do you have coming up next?
Oh, me? I'm sorry. I muted myself. What I've got coming up next, probably dinner. I don't know. But I mentioned the Brown album.
All right.
I have another album. Came out last year, Dangerous Dave. Phony kid show about a pirate and a stupid parrot that mocks him with everything. Got some more stuff about that coming out. But
Oh, cool. I like pirates.
other than that, lots of little things and stuff going on. And I may send a few more things your way, so watch out.
Yeah, totally. We would love getting more stuff from you. So the new album is at daveguhlow.bandcamp.com.
Yep.
And your last name
other
is...
place. You can listen on Spotify and Amazon, the usual places.
Yep. And the last name is Guhlow for those listening
Correct.
at home. Is there anything else you want to plug?
Nothing really. Just hanging out with you guys.
Okay. You going to stick around for this 16-minute epic?
I'd love to.
Okay.
I was bouncing around on the YouTube video, but I'd like to hear the whole thing as it was meant to be heard.
All right. So in that case, we'll do a quick bit of news and then talk to Jeff.
Yep. I will mute and listen.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys, for having me on.
This is the FuMP.
Going for a swim today, chomping now your prey. Just keep swimming, open water, try to stay afloat. Last shark shirking plagiarism, dude, there's even exorcisms. Gotta bleed or gonna need to get a bigger boat.
Boycotting products willy-nilly makes you look extremely silly, and banning teaching history.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
That would not be the last time the boy'd be throwing us a curve. That's a fine how do you do. Dylan's just screwing with you.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, the FuMP Volume 100 is now finally available in the store at thefump.com. Holy crap. This album features songs from July and August, to give you an idea of how late it is, including Ode to Shark Movies by Jeff Whitmire, Spam, Let the Pork Be Pork by the great Luke Ski, Reindicted by the Suffolk and Good Players, 50-Inch Penis by John Mishner, and many more. Plus a special anniversary video celebrating 100 FuMP albums, which we screened at FuMPFest for those of you who didn't get the CD yet. That was fun. Also available in the store, the FuMPFest Swag Bags are now available in the store. These are the leftover swag bags from FuMPFest 2023, and I have one here. I can show you what's in them. This is the bag that you get. It comes with an 8x10 photo of Ogden Edsel. The idea was so you'd have something to sign at FuMPFest. It comes with Volume 3 of the FuMPFest 2021 compilation album. Volumes 1 and 2 are available in the store as the standard 2-CD set that you can get. It comes with... We have a FuMP sticker, a FuMPFest 2023 badge ribbon, 8 random FuMP trading cards, and there'll be no duplicates. I've made sure. These were made up specifically for FuMPFest. I'm going to start selling the leftovers in the store, probably 8 or 10 at a time. And, probably most important of all, a piece of tile from my bathroom remodel. So, it's an actual piece of tile from my bathroom. It's leftover
Tile?
It's leftover tile that when we redid the shower. It's clean and new, unused. This tile has never been used for anything. I just cut it into small pieces so I had enough for all the bags.
Did you number all of them?
I did not, no.
You should do that.
The blood came out really nice.
It did, yeah. So the swag bags are $15. They're available in the store at thefump.com or at FuMPFest.com while supplies last. Once I run out, they're done. I'm not making up any more of them. And the FuMPFest 2021 2-CD compilation and the 2023 T-shirts are both available in the store, also at thefump.com or FuMPFest.com. So go pick up those, please. Luke, any updates about the poll you want to mention?
Yeah. I am up to 25 people who have taken the poll, which I figured was a good enough point to at least take a look at what the front runners are. So the top front runners, these are not in order of like 1 to 8. This is just the 8 most vote getting songs listed in order of when they were released. Are Fanboy, It's a Fanboy Christmas, Stealing Like a Hobbit, House Party at Arkham Asylum, Grease Wars, Marvel Poppins, When You Wish Upon a Death Star, and I'm Vamber Warrior. And that last one is significant is because it's the seemingly most popular track from my most recent album, Needlessly Meta. And I would really like to see more votes going towards the more recent stuff on Needlessly Meta.
Twilight Zone.
Hey, remember that time I had the #1 song of the year on the Dr. Domino show, and then that song also won a Logan Award for Outstanding Parody Song, and it was called Candy Bars?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of would expect that one to be more popular, but whatever. But it's still all the voice of the people. So go to tinyurl.com/LukeSki2023 to submit your votes, and I'm going to be continuing to take the votes until the end of the day on November 1st. And I'm hoping to get at least 40 people. So we've already got 25. Let me see. Will this thing take me to? I want to read off some more of the names of the people who were kind enough to. Am I logged in? Yeah, I'm logged in. Take me to my surveys. My internet has been weirdly slow. I need to talk to Kyle to find out if his Verizon 5G internet is also being as slow, or if it's just me, or maybe it's my computer. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. Analyze results. Oh, okay. I did some plugging earlier this afternoon, so maybe that spurned some more, because now it's saying I'm up to 30. So that those 8 songs I mentioned were as of earlier today. It may have changed. I don't know. I'm not going to look it up, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. So, but to say thank you to these people. Where is the thing where it lets me click on the thing and see everyone's answers? Responses 30 for question 1. Dang it! No. Maybe this is it. I'm sorry. Do you have another bit of news that you can read while I'm doing this?
Nope.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's see. I guess I'll do it this way. Let's see. Thank you, Stuart Black, Jacob Watts, aka Dr. Watson, Kevin Connolly, Carter Wallenius, Joshua Hall. Let's see. Some people aren't listing their names; they're just like leaving a description of how they know me in the first question. So I don't have names for everybody. Devo Spice, at Lisa RPGs, and Baramon. I think I mentioned Baramon last time, so I think that's kind of where we left off. Let's see. Father Beast, Danny Deich, and PB27, Unbeatable Squirrel Bro. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're back. We've covered all the newest people who have voted since the last time. So thank you all for voting. And like I said, I'm wanting to hit at least 40. It would be really nice if I could hit 50 people by November 1st. So we got, about 11, 12 days left for that to happen. So please, if you got a few minutes, go to tinyurl.com/LukeSki2023 and vote for your favorite Luke Ski songs, especially the ones from the latest album. What other updates did I have for news? Things that just another reminder about the awesome music video by Chuck for Progressive Love Song. Chuck doesn't want that out as a thing the general public can access, but if you want to see it, just message me on social media or email me at thegreatlukesky@gmail.com, and I will send you the link so that you can see her awesome video. You can also follow her on Instagram and Twitter. The handle is at VV3SPA, VV3SPA, and check out her awesome fan art of FuMP people and Weird Al and other cool stuff, and she is available for commissions as well. Yeah, I mentioned the Dumb Parody Ideas video that's at my YouTube page, so everyone can go check that out from FuMPFest and see the shenanigans that went down. We've already talked about how the MarsCon 2023 Music Guest of Honor is Andy Merrill. Woo! I just posted, or not I just posted, DA Games just posted the animatic that I was working on for over a month for Choo Choo Charles. So go to DA Games, the DA Games channel on YouTube and look for the DA Games animated. I believe the title of it is No, Not Eugene. And you can see the thing that I spent so long working on. Yeah, other than that, check out Tony Goldmark's podcast, Escape from Vault Disney. I was in a couple recent episodes of that, reviewing the movie, the live-action movie Underdog, and a couple episodes of Star Wars Visions from Season 2. And that episode also features TV's Kyle and my roommate Santana. Also, our friends Jared Perez, a.k.a. Mr. Tuesday, and Kiki Cannon have a podcast called Rewatching the Magic, and they recently hit episode number 200. And so for that episode, they wanted to do reviews of a bunch of episodes of The Muppet Show. So I was a special guest on there talking about the Steve Martin episode, and TV's Kyle was on there as well. And yeah, and Carpe Tedium is on CD, so you should buy that from wormquartet.bandcamp.com because it's an amazing album. And that's about everything.
Alrighty then. Tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. On Sundays online, Two Sleeps. On Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. On the 20th in La Crosse, Wisconsin, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 20th through the 22nd in Wichita, Kansas, Mikey Mason. The 21st in Duluth, Minnesota, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 21st in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. The 22nd in Madison, Wisconsin, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 23rd through the 25th in Chicago, Illinois, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 27th in Muncie, Indiana, Mikey Mason. The 27th and 28th in Massillon, Ohio, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. And the 28th and 29th in Columbus, Ohio, Mikey Mason. All right.
When I was at FuMPFest, I only had, I'm kind of on a budget these days in my life, so I can't spend a lot of money. So there was only 2 albums I specifically bought. One was the Needle Juice, the Collected Tom Lehrer, and the other one was Stabby Road by Jeff Whitmire.
Thank you.
And I haven't listened to the CD yet, but as a judge in the Logan Awards this year, I've pretty much heard the entire thing by now. So yes, a lot of excellent work is on that album. So that segues.
Thank you, Luke.
To you about your amazing epic Stabby Road medley. So give us a brief introduction to that, and then Devo will play it.
Well, now would be a good time to go to the bathroom if you have to. Yeah, so what this is the Stabby Road medley. It's the finale of my new album, Stabby Road. And it's a parody of the entire side 2 of Abbey Road from the Beatles. Most of side 2, the medley or the big one. But it's a classic love letter to horror. And it features heavily features Sea Monkey and a lot of work from Austin Ashleman on production and music and vocals, and Christine Fink. So I guess I'll step back and just because it's a long one.
All right, here is the Stabby Road Medley by Jeff Whitmire.
Be silent.
Her piece of vomit is running. Her
kind of mug. B-A-D. Oh, you got it now, Jody Barrel. You muckhead. Meteor ship.
afraid to sleep on Elm Street. Once I was afraid to sleep alone. Here's your alarm, I'll show this guy where he can shove his lullaby. Crimson slumbers till I rise. Knives like bath bombs between my thighs. Creeping in our dreams, do not try. Your girl is on a Java high. Once I dozed away to songs of sweet words. Now I stay awake and pop no doors. Keep coming at me, I will fight. This final girl can go all night.
Boy, now don't you bury that gauge. Bury that gauge at twilight. Boy, now don't you bury that gauge. Bury that gauge, it ain't right.
Has anyone ever buried a person up there?
Nice on his throat, though. Whoever won?
They'll come over and save me. Mommy came, and I played with Mommy. We played, Daddy. We had an all good time.
At first it all seemed so chill, though. Our son turned into a sick mutation. We should have settled for a quick cremation. Let's play now.
I wanted to play with you.
Boy, now don't you bury that gauge. Bury that gauge at twilight. You bury it? No! Boy, now don't you bury that gauge. Bury that gauge, it ain't right.
The soil of a man's heart, Lois, is stony iron.
Oh yeah, sleep tight. We're all gonna be in your dreams tonight. We're watching Evil Dead, Living Dead, Pumpkinhead, Anti-Red. We're watching The Descent, Malignant, Candyman, Wicker Man. We're watching The Blair Witch, Insidious, Sleepaway, Child's Play. We're watching Dracula, Godzilla, Jaws and Scream, Halloween. And in the end, the credits roll. They'll live rent-free inside your soul.
Don't make any noise when the music's playing.
That Anthony's a really good boy, and that's all that I'm allowed to say. That Anthony's a really good boy, and everything he does is great. I wanna tell him that I hate him a lot, but I think I'd really rather stay alive. That Anthony's a really good boy, and everything is always fine. Oh no, now I am a cornfield guy.
So is that the longest song you played on the FuMPCast?
Yes. I'm almost positive this is the longest song we've ever posted to the FuMP. Give me a moment. I can check the database and confirm that.
Okay. I mean, there was a lot of
because
debate.
whose record could he possibly be beating by posting a song longer? Oh, that would be me. Unless it's Ian, but I'm assuming it's me.
Probably. There was a lot of debate back and forth on. Oh wait, I'm echoing. Why am I echoing?
No, you're not echoing. Somebody just subscribed. Except I set up alerts on Twitch because
check.
It for some reason it's doubling up the graphic, but Wildcard subscribed to using the Amazon thing for the 34th month in a row. Thank you, Wildcard. So those of you who heard that, that's what that was.
Woo!
I learned something about Twitch today. I set up alerts, except I apparently screwed something up. But anyway, let's see. Length. There's a bunch that don't have the lengths entered. That's good.
I thought that was required.
It is. But I doubt any of these are like any of the long ones. So let's see. What to do?
I remember we did that April Fool's collection of all the FuMP that fits all of the shortest tracks on one album. There was 80 tracks. We should do the other side of that where it's all of our longest tracks, so it can just be a 5-track CD.
Yeah.
Jeff, I don't think you entered your time.
It would look like an EP, but it wouldn't be.
I don't think you entered a duration. Oh, yeah, you did enter a duration. So why isn't that showing up?
I thought I did. I didn't think it let me go. I thought I had to. I think it yells at me if I don't do one.
Oh, you know what? Because it's over 10 minutes, it's probably... The database probably doesn't alphabetize it properly.
Oh.
Hang on. All right, so let's go to... I'm spending way too much time on this. I know I am. But, come on. So, yeah, but I don't even know where to start talking about this song. So, what the hell?
So yeah, okay. So the birth of this song was we had the album title Stabby Road. That actually it came from some friends of mine that do a horror podcast called the Civil Gore, and they send me they constantly are sending me ideas. But one day they just send me they go, we got it, Stabby Road. And I said, that's awesome. I love that. I said, that's definitely the album title. So we just continued on with the songs that were planned, and then a lot of songs got added later. And the track list got changed. But Austin one day said to me, he's like, but here's the problem. You've got an album called Stabby Road, but you got no Beatles songs on here or Beatles parodies. And I'm like, and I thought about it. I was like, I think I have an idea. I could do 8 days a week and make it 28 days later or something. He's like, that's really weak. He's like, you can't do that. He's like, let me think. He comes he's like, well, what if you did the medley, the Abbey Road medley? And I'm like, the whole thing? And he's like, yeah, let's do the whole medley. And I didn't even know where to start with that at first. And I thought, okay, well, if we're gonna do that, I said there was no doubt in my mind I was gonna reach out to C Monkey, because if I was gonna tackle, one Beatles thing, let alone all these parts, I said I knew I had to bring in C Monkey. So I reached out to him, and he was right on board right off the bat. He was like, yes, let's do this. And so we had an open spreadsheet, basically, and there was I think Kristen was in on that too, but we had an open spreadsheet where everyone was just tossing out their ideas. So there's a lot of one day I should do a whole album just with all the other songs that didn't make the cut for Stabby Road Medley, because we were just tossing out ideas and throwing them, and should it just be one long splurge of all these horror ideas, or should it be one each track gets its own movie? So yeah, it was a lot of back and forth. But yeah, little by little we whittled away at it and just came up with an idea for how we liked it. The only thing that I didn't really have was the ending. I didn't know how I was going to do the ending. I think I had a Candyman thing, and it was just going to say Candyman over and over and over. And I thought I can't end the whole medley in the album like that. I had to go different. So I thought, well, that sounds like they're saying words. So I just started writing movie titles at the end, and I figured let's just make it bigger and bigger and start making it an homage to every horror movie that someone might potentially say is their favorite. And then when I did the video, I took it a step further. I was hearing all those drum beats, and I just started clipping, and like I think I just reached out on Twitter and I said, all right, everyone just start dropping your favorite horror movies, because I'm running out of, I couldn't think. I kept, okay, what else did I put here? And so yeah, but that's how the whole thing started. So it was pretty much once Sea Monkey was on board, we knew that we were going to split up the parts and do a very Lennon and McCartney thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Do the backing. Did most of the backing ourselves, except for Gage, which Luke's actually on there. Luke, did you know you're on that?
Yes. I was, as I demonstrated earlier, I have this constant to-do list of things I have to get done. And you had reached out to me like so long ago, and I had on my list like record, bury that Gage for Jeff, and I just things kept getting in the way, and then finally, once I had built my new little sound booth over there, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna now. The whole point of me building that thing was so that I have an easy place to jump in, record some audio, and have it sound good, and send it off to people. So I'm like, I'm gonna make that the first thing I record in here, and I did a few passes on it, and then in the last one, I decided for the second set of choruses to do it as Gilbert, just for the sake of varying it up. And then
we have that, don't we? I think I actually have. The
and you left that in there where I specifically said, "Do you bury it?" No, and like you left that in there, and I was like, "Yay!" It's like Luke Ski's calling card is in this particular song. Yay!
I love it when that happens too, when those little Easter eggs get in there, because Kyle did that on when we did the UHF song, because he added that little spot at the end. So and if Mike picks up on that, or Mike or Austin, if they pick up on those kind of things, yeah, they're definitely throwing those in, which I love. But yeah, so you're on that, Mark with a C. Ian's on there. TV's Kyle is on there. But yeah, and then Christine Fink came in for we originally were going to pitch to the Merkins to come in and try and get them somewhere on the track, but we've never heard from them. But I really wanted to, the more I thought about it, I thought I didn't want to sing the Crimson Slumbers part. It's such from the perspective of Nancy and a Final Girl. I said I know that's not the purest thing to do because it's not a Beatles, but I said, as Eric said, it's not a Beatles thing, but it's a Jeff thing. So I said, let's bring Christine in to do that part, because it just adds to the theatricality of the whole thing, keeps it interesting, keeps changing it up. So
yeah. So I have the official tally. This song clocks in at 16 minutes and 37 seconds. The next one is It's a Fanboy Christmas Part 2, which I just lost the page. Damn it. Which is like 11:50, I think, and then It's a Fanboy Christmas 3 is like 11:35, something like that. So yeah, this is the longest song by almost 5 minutes.
Wow, sweet.
And it's it's not a FuMP track, but Grease Wars, I believe, is like 13 minutes 42 seconds, something around there. So
yeah, I was thinking, I know that one's up there.
So so even if Grease Wars was was on the FuMP, you still would have beaten that too.
And there was a lot of talk. I mean, it was a back and forth. Do we do this as one piece? Do we split it up? My wife was very adamant. She's like, you cannot drop this as one piece. Nobody's gonna listen to a 17-minute song. And I'm like, and I know Austin and I did especially were like, it just doesn't, it works as one piece. It has that big arc and flow and everything.
It doesn't drag at all. It doesn't seem like it's 17 minutes long, No.
And I wanted, like, when I did the video, I mean, I was really trying to make it as fun and everything, just to keep it going. Now I might occasionally down the road drop like pieces if someone's like talking about Motel Hell. I'll be like, I'll have pieces lined up where I can be like, well, here you go, here's a Motel Hell song, But yeah, to me, it always had to be one piece, and that's how it had to be delivered.
Mm-hmm. Well, nicely done.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So,
and going back to that comment about like, oh, who wants to listen to a 16-minute song? It's like literally this fan base.
Well, that's true.
Specific bubble of people.
Yeah.
You know, not to mention, you know, all of your hardcore fans who deluged the Logan Awards nomination.
The mutant
you know,
fam, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's because my attitude has always been like, I'm not famous. So few people are actually listening and paying attention to what I do. So why not do whatever the hell I want?
Right.
So,
that's right. And I, like you said, I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, for like the comedy music fan base and the horror fan base, those are the people that are going to want to listen to a 17-minute song. I know. So yeah, that's the other thing I thought too. I'm like, the people that are going to get this, or they're going to also be the ones that are going to listen to the whole thing. So
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of take the same approach with my music. I was like, as long as I'm entertaining me, I'm fine. You know?
Right. I mean, when I was doing the video, I was having fun with it, and I had to listen to the whole thing so many times doing the video, and I'm like, but I'm enjoying it. So if I'm having fun with it, someone's gonna have fun with it. Yeah.
That was my justification for doing my Pumpkinhead song. I was like,
yeah,
it's a parody of the song.
I thought about you when I put Pumpkinhead in there.
It's a parody of the song, and not a lot of people know about a movie that not a lot of people have seen. Let's do it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, that's what started
I am
the whole
including
horror
Pumpkin.
thing. Yeah. That's how the whole horror thing started. I was like doing a movie. I was doing a song about Host, which hardly anyone knew at the time. You know, I was like, okay, well, let's.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't know about the Host until you released your song, and then I was like, oh, this sounds good. I need to watch this.
Yeah.
And it was.
People will tell me that. They'll be like, I watched the movie because of your song, and I'm like, that's cool, because that's really what I want. I'm a big vocalist on like Twitter and stuff about watch this movie, get some eyes on it. So if that happens, I'm great. Now the problem is I always tell people I tend to spoil a lot. You know, people are like, I watched Midsummer after your song, and I'm like, that's cool, but I told you the ending.
It's fine. So speaking of watching movies, have you seen VHS 85?
Yes, several times. I have.
Yeah, I watched it last week. Very good film.
Yeah, I really. I did say when they reached out to me to ask me if I would do it, which was because of the UHF song was the reason why they reached out. They said we couldn't. We're trying to figure out who would be. Who could do an end-credit song, and they're like, well, what about the guy who did that VHS parody? And they said, oh yeah. So that's why they reached out to me, was because of that. And I said, can I see the movie? Because I would like to do it like those old 80s end credit songs where they tell the movie in the credits. I love those, like He's Back, Alice Cooper, and all them.
Yeah.
And I said, can they're like, well, it's not done, but you can see it. I'm like, oh, whoa, okay. So I got a version that wasn't finished, which was really cool. And even some of the parts hadn't been written, so I got the script for some parts, and I got to see. So that was a really cool experience, was being able to get like eyes on it before there was ADR added and stuff. And but I did get back to them. I said, as a VHS fan, as you know, I'm a VHS franchise fan. I'm going to tell you, this is one of the best ones. I said, I guarantee people are going to say it's one of their favorite ones. So when it dropped and that happened, I DM'd one of the producers, and I said, I hate to tell you, I told you so, which was kind of cool to be able to text and say, I told you. And so yeah, really good movie, really good one.
Yeah, and I saw I don't know if they did it or somebody posted the your song to YouTube with the the end credits and stuff, and there were lots of really good comments about the song, and a lot of people said
that
blew
me away.
The song.
Really blew me away. And also there was a Reddit post I stumbled on. People were like, "Who did the end song to VHS?" I'm like, "Wow, that's really cool." So yeah, and that's but seeing like people were like, oh, this is like an Alice Cooper song, or this sounds like a Weird Al song. I was like, yes, exactly, that is correct.
Yes.
But yeah, so that Mike and I were both just walking, and we were just on cloud nine when that all happened. And there's gonna be more Bathe in Blood stuff too. That was always the plan.
Cool.
Because that was such a unified effort to put that together. And so we are going to do some more Bathe in Blood stuff It's going to be, kind of horror, still horror adjacent and everything, but maybe in a little different style. So
nice.
I already got a track for. He sent me a track that he came up with, and I got some ideas for that I want to play around with.
Cool. So, I mean, we could talk to you for as long as the song is, but the
song speaks for itself.
Yes.
Yeah, I just like I said, I wanted it to also be the song for whenever somebody says, "Why hasn't Jeff done a parody for this song for this movie?" I could just now say, "Well, listen to the medley because it's probably there."
It's probably in there, yeah.
Right? Because if someone says, "Well, you haven't done an Exorcist song or a Shining song," I'm like, "Well, it's in the medley. You're covered."
I think that's what Ian does with his epic video game medleys.
Right?
Like, it's in the medley. It's in the medley.
It's there. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm kind of jealous of Jeff because like when I was first going to conventions and stuff like that in the late 90s and early 2000s, there weren't a ton of people doing, performing shows where they're doing like, modern sounding comedy music about geeky topics, whether they were parodies or not. Other than, Devo Spice, who I had just barely met, and I don't even think you were doing a lot of conventions back then or whatever, but
no, I didn't start cons until 2000.
Yeah. So basically I was trying to like be this kind of, jack of all trades of fandom where I had a song about like every major topic of every popular major fandom that was in the scene. And I basically was trying to start a career as like, I'm like, the Weird Al of nerdy fandom specifically. And I know a lot of people would hear me say that and say, yeah, but Weird Al is nerdy. It's like, yeah, but he didn't really take that on until like, the mid 2000s when Al really specifically, like he did White and Nerdy. He did, all this other stuff where he's like directly connecting to the nerd audience. Because I think he just spent a lot of years being told by record executives that you have to be cool and you have to not be nerdy or whatever the hell. So I was out there doing my songs about, parodies of more, parodies of songs that people know but nobody else was parodying about topics that were current to fandom, like my Cypress Hill parody about Pinky and the Brain, or my, Fushnikin's parody about Star Trek, etc., and all this stuff, Star Trek Deep Space Nine and like current things at that time. So I was just out there trying to make a name for myself so that I would get well known enough that I could start, like people would notice me and I would start getting booked at conventions all over the country all the time, like every weekend or every other weekend. Some convention from somewhere in the US would be flying me out to be their special guest, and I would do shows and I would sell CDs and I would make a living being known as like the nerdy comedy music guy. And, maybe it was because of the venues I was playing in being, controlled by boomers who hated hip hop or whatever, but it was few and far between to find the venues that like actually clicked and got it. Like the Gen Con people were supportive. Obviously the MarsCon people were supportive, but it was still kind of a Sisyphus type battle to try to get a foothold anywhere. And then Ian came along and, he basically was trying to do the same thing, but for video games. But kind of at the same time, that's when like suddenly, everybody and their grandmother now has a YouTube channel where they're making, their funny songs about nerdy topics and song parodies about nerdy topics and song parodies about video games and blah, blah, blah. So now it's like everyone's doing it and it's cool and it's a standard thing. And so it's kind of like, I've been kind of doing this for many years. How come none of you all are paying attention to me, etc. So for me to see you, this is the part where I'm jealous. For me to see you like go to the horror community going like, hey, I'm the horror community funny music making guy, and have them all go, yes, you are here, fandom accolades, be on the soundtrack of our movie that's on things and stuff. It's like, I'm happy for you, but at the same time it's like, where didn't I get that?
It was just a lightning in the bottle kind of thing. I mean, it just, like I said, it came out of that pandemic thing. And I think when I started it, I was just 300 followers, but I knew I was in a community of horror people because like Joe Bob was really building that up. Joe Bob and Darcy really built that community of horror people. And I just made so many connections so that when I dropped the first one, And then especially when I dropped Hey Joe Bob, it was a really cool snowball effect. And it's just I like I said, I couldn't believe it either. I remember there was like 2 years ago, I even tweeted something. This is still before all of that happened, and I tweeted out, should I keep doing just horror songs or should I branch out? And I remember I think Ian early on was kind of like, let's branch out, keep branching out or something. And then within a few hours, it was like that tweet was, one or two no's and a long line of yeses, keep doing horror stuff. And he and I were both kind of like, whoa, I guess there's an audience, so I'll keep doing that because I love it. So yeah, it was just I think it just the lightning in a bottle just was able to connect because I did a show with that Kelly Maroney was on and streaming or something, and my friend, it was Ruby had Kelly Maroney on. I know Devo, you know Ruby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she had Kelly on. She's like, "Oh, Jeff's in the chat. Kelly, do you know Jeff?" And Kelly's like, "Oh yeah, I know Jeff. He's the music guy." And I was like, So, oh yeah. So it's been cool. It's been a ride.
All right. So on that note, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yes, I have an album out. It's called Stabby Road. It's on my Bandcamp. I have physical and digital copies available for that, as well as my first album, Deep Fried Superhero. And just keep an eye out for it because there's a couple other things happening. We are working on some more Bathed in Blood stuff, like the VHS song. I am working on a second album already in the works because there were 7 songs that didn't make Stabby Road, so half an album was right there. So I do have another album that I'm working on called Direct to Video, and when I can announce them, I have 2 con appearances next year.
Nice.
And one of them's at a horror con.
Nice.
As an opening act. So yes. So I will post that when that's available to let people know. So yes, I will be singing to the horror community.
Awesome.
So
Looking forward to that.
With celebrities in there and everything. So maybe I can actually sing like Love Theme to Friday the 13th to some Friday the 13th people, which will be cool.
All right, let's do some feedback.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Draconis alert. Draconis alert. Draconis alert.
Draconis wrote, Luke, have you seen the Once Upon a Studio short? They have several Meet the Robinsons and rare obscure characters from Disney. Maybe the next Kyle and Luke podcast you can talk about it. Bowler Hat Man appears in it.
Yes. Yeah, typically when something that big that's been talked about for several months comes out, I usually see it right away, unless there's, something getting in the way, like FuMPFest or whatever. That was kind of a unique thing. The season 2, episode 1 of Loki dropped like 6 p.m. Thursday night of FuMPFest weekend, and I had to wait until I was literally I had to download it and watch it on the plane on the flight back. That was the first chance I had to actually watch the first episode of Loki.
See, so, I didn't even know the new episodes were out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you of all people, you were way too busy with FuMPFest to notice anything happening. But
still am.
But yeah, when that short dropped, I watched it 4 times in a row, and then I forced myself to stop because it was like really late at night and I needed to get to bed. And yeah, Kyle and I will absolutely be talking about that on the next podcast. So there you go.
All right.
And there were 5 characters from Meet the Robinsons were in it. It was Wilbur, Lewis, Bowler Hat Guy, Carl the Robot, and in the scene where they're at like the coffee bar, Lucille, who's one of the scientists from the beginning who has the coffee patch on her arm. She's there in the background drinking coffee. So that made me happy that freaking 5 characters from Meet the Robinsons made it into that short.
Nice.
There's other things I want to say about it, but I'll save that for the Tunes podcast. So there we go.
All right.
Alvarant
wrote, thanks for putting FuMPFest on Twitch. I couldn't catch all of it, but I watched Steve Goody and Luke Ski. Luke, next year, are you going to update Fake Adult after you join the over 50 club like us?
I guess I'll have to, huh?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm going to perform it again, then I'm going to have to change that graphic at the end. I mean, rewriting a lyric is easy enough. I mean, I could do that off the top of my head if I had to, but yeah. Be funny to do a 10-year anniversary of the Fake Adult song.
Yeah.
Fake Adult 2.0 and update the lyrics or whatever. So.
All right. That is all the feedback we got. So.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job. Yeah.
Tomorrow's song is by the Knuckleheads. And Tuesday's song is by Two Sleeps.
Woo!
And we are supposed to have a bonus Sunday slot as well, but that's not posted yet. So we'll see. Spotify playlist topics. I was thinking of doing Beatles parodies. I don't think I've done that before. So I
got 17 minutes covered for you.
Yep. Well, is that on? Yeah, that is on Spotify. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'll find a bunch of Beatles parodies that aren't all about horror movies. Anyway. All right. We lost Dave at some point, and then he came back, and then we lost him again. So Dave Guhlow is at daveguhlow.bandcamp.com. Jeff, plug yourself one more time.
JeffWhitmire.bandcamp.com and YouTube Jeff Whitmire 47 and on Twitter Jeff Whitmire 1.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and look, it's Jeff Whitmire. Ah!
Hey!
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say...
My next FuMP track will be a parody of the entire Beastie Boys License to Ill album in order titled Bestiality.